Hello, I'm Sam and I'm the Regional Museum Officer at the Museum of the Riverina in Wagga Wagga.
And I'm Dr. Jessie Lim from the School of Information Studies at Charles Sturt University, also in Wagga Wagga in regional Australia.
We collaborated on an exhibition called We Are Here, Riverina LGBTIQ Stories. The exhibition was a local history display about the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex and queer questioning communities and people who live in the Riverina or who have lived here in the past.
Wagga is a major city of the Riverina region, located about halfway between Sydney and Melbourne in New South Wales, Australia, and it has a population of about 65,000 people. It's generally considered to be quite a conservative place. The exhibition emerged in response to an editorial in the local newspaper which raised concerns about marriage equality and its potential to negatively impact society.
Initially, I met with members of the LGBTIQ community who had responded to an expression of interest. During the coffee-fueled consultation, community members shared stories about their experiences. These conversations were a springboard to expanding our network of contributors, sourcing objects for display, and developing themes for the exhibition. We knew early that we wanted to use a thematic approach with a very local focus. From these meetings, we developed a list of possible themes and discussed them at PFLAG meetings over more coffee and also in a closed Facebook group. We also had a small pop-up exhibition at PFLAG one evening to gather stories and objects. This event was central in shifting our exhibition from curator-led to museum facilitated, as from this point the contributors brought in stories and objects. It was important for showing how an LGBTIQ exhibition might look, as these stories are not well represented in museums and LGBTIQ people are not used to seeing these stories on display.
In deciding on the themes for the exhibition, we wanted to ensure that we told stories from a local perspective. We had objects for display and that also represented the local community. We wanted to also ensure that each theme held a touch point for the non-LGBTIQ community. These touch points were a story or an event that we thought the non-LGBTIQ audience would relate to or possibly remember. We then used that point to draw on their understanding or expand their knowledge of other aspects of the theme.
For example, Closets Are for Clothes explored coming out stories and what it is like to live in the closet. We thought that most non-LGBTIQ people who visited the exhibition would have some kind of understanding of coming out, either through a friend or family member, or at the very least through popular culture. We took this touch point and extended the story by using personal stories to explain how LGBTIQ people negotiate closets every day. The curator's words were secondary to direct quotes and personal anecdotes, creating a thread to connect the stories, but not providing definitions or direction.
Another key interpretive feature was a board game of LGBTIQ rights. Some members of the consultative group had requested a timeline to show how far the rights had progressed, but also to demonstrate that it wasn't that long ago that the law upheld persecution and discrimination. Timelines can sometimes look progressive and linear, as if they're moving along a predetermined path to an inevitable finish line. So to avoid this, we created a large interactive board game, complete with dice, that included dates and events of both national and local importance. Depending on their impact on the LGBTIQ community, players moved forward or backwards on the board game. They rolled again or they missed a turn. The game wound through the exhibition space, a reminder of the way that the LGBTI rights are often used as play pieces in larger political games.
The ongoing legacy of the project is in its impact on the museum's strategic collecting practices and also the research and publications coming from it.
So I've been working in partnership with the museum to research the acquisition and the collection practices of the project, drawing on my disciplinary background in archives, collections and queer theory. I'm currently working on a set of draft protocols informed by interviews with donors, museum staff, and also looking at the collaborative work that's being done between the museum and the local archive. These protocols are designed to support the work of small collecting institutions working with queer material in regional Australia.
Thank you.
Thank you.